Tower. Mather Tower was designed by Riddle and Riddle. It was completed in 1926. It's covered in white glazed terracotta. Terracotta is fired clay. You put your plants in it, but it's orange clay pots. Here it's white fired clay. Now remember, we had the Great Chicago Fire of 1871?
Yep.
We had to convince companies to come back to the city, so terracotta is fireproof. We covered our buildings in this white glazed terracotta, said, come on back, this is a fireproof building. Now, over the years, the terracotta erodes and it gets replaced with microcotta, which is a plasticized form of terracotta, and you can see the different shading in the tiles of the building. The next building on the left is another Beaux-Arts style of building. It's the building with the tower in the middle and the little temples or tempiettes around the corner. Who watches The Good Wife? Who's a TV addict like me? If Juliana Margulies was in Chicago, really in Chicago, she'd be working in this building. Her Hollywood set is based on the Jewelers Building, designed by I'll think of it, Dinkelberg, and it was completed in 1926. Now, this is definitely the Beaux-Arts style of architecture. It has those four temples or tempiettes that ring the corners. They used to cover water towers because of the age of the building. They now cover prime office space. When I stand across the river and I look at this building, I'm in Paris, France. No question about it. I am definitely in Paris. I see Paris when I'm looking at the Jewelers Building. Called the Jewelers Building, by the way, because it housed jewelers. Now, we're going to come under the State Street Bridge, and to your left will be the first example of postmodernism. Now, postmodernism is a reaction to modernism, a reaction to those plain buildings. Postmodern architects said, you know what? I want my building to look different. I want some color, some curve, some whimsy. So the building on your left is the Leo Burnett Building. It's this grayish-green building here with the stainless steel mullions in the middle of the windows. This building is designed by Kevin Roche. It was completed in 1989. He pulls the corners out at 55 Wacker, pulls them out at the top of the building, puts those stainless steel mullions in the middle of the windows. This is the Leo Burnett Building. Leo Burnett is an ad agency located here in Chicago. They gave us the Pillsbury Doughboy, and they gave us Tony the Tiger, amongst others. Now, as we come under Dearborn Street, again to your left, this glassy building that you see here with the columns over the front of it is the United Building. United Airlines got naming rights to the building because they moved their executives here to about 2 years ago. This was designed by James DiStefano and Roberto Bofill. It was completed in 1992. Take a look at the top of the building. It has a triangular piece. That's called a pediment when you see that at the top of a building. There's those colonnade of columns again, and you come down the front of the building and you see all those columns on the front of it. Well, they have no structural significance. It drives functional architects crazy because they think if you put it there, it should do something. Well, in this case, it just breaks up all that glass. Now, this is definitely postmodernism, and we like to nickname buildings in Chicago. So what do we call this building? We call this building Parthenon on a stick. Very tall, very thin. Off to your left is the first example. It's a loud day today. First example of Art Deco. This is the LaSalle Wacker Building. It's the building where you see the flag over the entranceway. This is a 1930 design by Hullabert and Root. Art Deco accents the verticality in a building. So they've darkened the area underneath the windows. It brings those